Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Steamforged Games Week wraps today as I will be taking a first look and paging through RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game from the aforementioned Steamforged Games. This 216-page hardcover is available now, carries an MSRP of $44.99. You can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Do want to mention, I am sharing this on July 27th. There is currently the Christmas in July sale going on at DriveThruRPG. So if you decide to score this in PDF prior to August 1st, you'll get it for $15.99. Just wanted to let you know there is currently a sale on the PDF. All that said, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game. Do want to mention before we get stuck in, the fine folks over at Steamforged Games were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this video with you. These days, it's important you know that. I have also never played RuneScape, so I apologize. I am sure I will be mispronouncing various different people, places, and things. I'll do my best. Welcome to RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game. For over 20 years, millions of gamers have explored, crafted, and dueled their way across Gielinor. Now you can bring the thrill of iconic RuneScape and old-school RuneScape quests and lore to your tabletop. All you'll need is a handful of dice, a few friends, and some pencils and paper. The legendary, massively multiplayer online role-playing game finally comes to your tabletop, designed from the ground up to evoke everything which makes RuneScape such a beloved gaming experience. RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game, is the ideal way for new or experienced gamers to start bringing this iconic world to life in a whole new way. It's going to talk about what's in the book, which we're going to find out because we're going to page on through. So I should also mention we will not be looking at each and every page of this core book, but I do want to give you a good feel for what you're going to find inside RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game. First thing we're going to take a peek at here, the credits page. There are lots of people who took part to bring this book to life. So let's give a bit of credit where credit is due. So our contents, we're going to have our prologue. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a gazetteer to start us off. So it's going to introduce us to the game world. Then we're going to get into character creation, core rules, magic, crafting, and equipment, because I understand that is a big deal in the video game. Quests and consequences, friends and foes. So it looks like we've got a bit of a bestiary. And then we will wrap up with an index and character sheet. So we're going to start off, looks like we've got the What is a Role-Playing Game section. And then Welcome to Gielinor. To discuss the different regions. Now, you may have seen yesterday's video where I actually unboxed and took a first look at RuneScape Kingdoms Shadow of Elvarg. So some of these different regions were actually in that game as we were taking a look at the map and the various different decks of cards. So we've got Bob the Cat. There's no other animal quite like Bob the Cat. For a start, no other beast seems to wander the entire length and breadth of Gielinor entirely unconcerned by distance, obstacles, or the threat of being eaten. I don't think RuneScape takes itself overly serious. I don't think that it is just all tongue-in-cheek, but I think it pokes fun at itself a little bit. So this is just getting into all the information about the game world. Artwork so far looks okay. Hey, it looks decent. I'd say that's really soft looking artwork there. So it appears that we're going to have maybe about 60 pages or so devoted to the world, which is cool with me. I know absolutely nothing about it. So it looks like we're getting into the various different deities. Okay, so we have 57 pages of the Gazetteer. So we get into creating your character. And I do believe this uses 6-sided dice. I don't think we're looking at any other polyhedral dice. 2d6s. So we've got your catalyst, your motivation. So we've got your basics. Where are you from? There are 3 attributes, and you'll use 1 attribute for every test you make. Here we go. Here's our attributes. So we've got point allocation or random allocation. Oh, I guess we are using some other dice because I see mention of 4-sided die. Strength, agility, intellect. Those are our attributes. And then we're going to have skills, archaeology, cooking, defense, dungeoneering, ranged, rune crafting, summoning, thieving, herb lore. So we've got some optional rules too. Some backgrounds. Soldier, criminal, vagabond, initiate, druid. This is kind of giving you your archetype, your background, giving you your skills and what ranks they are. So the squire has attack, dungeoneering, defense, prayer, and ranged. The druid has herb lore, hunting, and summoning. Well, got quite a few different backgrounds here. That's kind of cool. Here we got our core rules. Let's see what we have got. So we got the test. The core mechanic of RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game, is the test. You make a test when trying to achieve something where the outcome isn't obvious. When making a test, you will nearly always combine an attribute and a skill score. A test can be anything from climbing a wall to crafting a helm from a silver ignet to battling Elvarg. To make a test, you roll 3d6, aiming to roll under the combined total number of the appropriate attribute and skill score. Rolling a triple. If a player is exceptionally fortunate or unfortunate and rolls a triple, something remarkable happens. They can guess 3 of a kind. If it's equal to or lower than that test number, it's going to be a critical success. If it's higher, it's going to be a critical failure. When you roll a triple, you succeed with aplomb. And if you fail rolling a triple, you not only fail, but something bad happens on top of you failing, which is already bad. So we've got combat. So we've got turns and rounds, actions, move, melee attack, range attack, cast spell, equip an item, consume a potion, perform a skill action. Says the characters always act first in combat. So you're not dealing with initiative, although there's an optional rule here, it looks like, for alternative order, defending. This looks like this is pretty rules light. Healing damage. Damage can be healed by eating food, magic, healing potions, or medicine, or by resting. When you are healed, you restore life points equal to the amount determined by the spell or healing method. These life points are restored immediately. So what happens if you're reduced to 0 life points? You're dead, but it's not quite as simple as that. So you actually roll 2d6 and consult this death's prize table. So we get magic, I do notice that some of the character artwork has kind of a cartoonish style to it. Not necessarily my bag of tricks. Prayers and summoning. It's like we've got our various different spells. Enfeeble, Fire Surge, Stun, Teleport. It looks as if the information about these spells is just really concise. Snare. Tight bonds of magic force surround the enemy, holding them in place even as they struggle. So it shows us our cost. I'm taking a guess we've probably got a mana cost or some sort of magic point cost. Range, damage, and effect. So the effect of the snare is the target is pinned for 1d6 plus 2 rounds. Looks like we've got quite a few. Then we've got prayers. Improve reflexes, rapid heal, sharp eye, thick skin. Ultimate strength. Target increases their strength score by +6 for 1d3 turns. Then we've got crafting. As I mentioned, I think crafting plays a big role in the video game. So obviously it's going to play a fairly large role in the tabletop role-playing game. So we've got the different materials. Well, quite a bit to this. This might be one of the longer sections of the book. So creating simple melee weapons, martial ranged weapons, unique melee weapons. It's like a shield there. Armor, defense values, and qualities. So I see we've got bronze, iron, steel, and mithril, as well as dragonhide, adamant, rune. And then we get our cost per step. I'd take a guess per step of defense. I'm guessing that your armor and shields are going to absorb damage. They're not necessarily going to make it more difficult for your character to be hit or your target to be hit. So it's like this is the Game Master section. This is quests and consequences. What does a Game Master do? We touched on this question briefly in the introduction, but as the Game Master or GM, you are the engine running the game. You're Jagex servers and their dev team and Lord Council. You're the whole of Gielinor and everyone in it. So some information about running a game, anatomy of a session, tone and feel, building your own quests, creating NPCs. So we've got profession, quirk, desire, and quest item. It's like you'd be rolling 3d6 on that. Friends and foes. Here's our bestiary. Our peoples. So we have some special qualities. Bleed X, Freeze X, Incendiary X, Knockdown, Pin X. Taking a guess, the X is a random number for so many rounds. Barbarian, Black Knight, Dark Wizard, Gnome. Got Spirit Familiars, Animals. Got a stat block for the chicken. What about Bob the Cat? Right, here's our monsters. Demons. Elementals. Sadly, not a lot of artwork. I mean, each category seems to be getting an image, although golems aren't getting an image there. The ghosts are. Calphites. Trolls. So our trolls, we got mountain trolls, ice trolls, sea troll. And as you can see, the entries are pretty short. So as an example, we've got zombies. Shambling corpses dragged from the realms of death by the magic of necromancy. Zombies seek the warmth of flesh to sate their hunger. Delicious. So we had movement, their armor value, life points. Zombies have +2 armor value against stabbing damage. And the drops, so the treasure that you get 8 coins. They've got 2 actions available. Game Master's going to roll a D2. Chew or moan. Zombie does nothing, instead standing still and moaning. Then we got bosses. There's Count Draenor, the vampire, who we saw in the board game. There's Elvarg, who we all saw that dragon in the board game. All right, so these are the big bosses. The Barrows brothers. Then we wrap up with our index and character sheet. There is our character sheet, and we've got our backpack. Taking a guess, maybe our encumbrance is by items or slots. And there's the index. Cool. All right. So that is a look inside RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game from Steamforged Games. I will have a review of this role-playing game in the not-too-distant future. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this first look, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Big thank you to Steamforged Games for providing all of the releases that we have taken a peek at this week. Be sure to stay tuned. I will be sharing reviews of them in the future. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. And until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.